Nearly 8 years ago, me and my family went to the nearest guitar center and I picked up FL Studio for the first time, as you can see. And this of course changed the trajectory of my life forever. I've been able to make a decent career just from this right here. With that being said, I'm going to show you 8 of my favorite tips that I've learned over the past 8 years. Let's get into it. So you know when you have the snap to grid on and it just snaps to the grid? What if there is a shortcut for you to easily turn that off so that you can move a sound or a sample just a little bit off beat, even though it looks like the snap to grid is on? If we hold Alt, you can move this smoothly wherever you want without it snapping to the grid. If you experiment with it, you can get a lot of cool results. So if we combine this with the slip tool, we can hold Alt and then maybe move this vocal chop to different places, and we're going to get a lot of different results when we do this. So just by using that Alt trick and playing around with the timing of the sample, you can get some really cool results. So this tip can be really cool, especially for sound design. What we're gonna do is press Alt R, and this is going to open the randomizer. You can switch the octave. If you want there to be fewer notes, you can select half beat, for example. So for example, we could combine this with a respace and create some really cool soundscapes. I'm going to apply a ton of reverb to this pluck, just like that. And let's press Alt R again to open the randomizer. So as you can tell, you can get some really cool textures, and there's a ton of experimenting to do with this tip. Of course, you just want to make sure it's in the key of your track. So for this bass line, it's F sharp minor. This is a project that comes with the FL Mastery Academy, link in the description, and it's completely stock plugins. Here, I'm just gonna play the drop for you really quick. So if you want to learn how I made this project and tons more, link in the description. Let's take a look at this guitar melody, and for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to press Ctrl Q to quantize this. Now every single one of these notes are perfectly on time, and the thing is, for an acoustic instrument like a guitar or piano or anything like that, you probably want a more human feel, otherwise it can sound really robotic. One thing I like to do is press Shift and R, and this literally just selects a bunch of random notes, and from here you can combine that with the Alt, click, and drag thing I just explained to you. So Alt, click, and drag, and just barely variate the timing of these notes here. And we can do this again, so Shift R, tap that a couple times, Alt, click, and drag so you can vary the timings a little bit. This is going to give it a slightly more human feel. So you can hear there's just a few notes that are slightly off beat, and it makes it sound like an actual guitar player has played it. What if you want to transpose the entire track down by 2 keys or maybe up by 1 key? Instead of going up to this stupid master pitch knob that shouldn't really exist, this is what you're going to do. You're going to hold Control, left click, and drag through all of these patterns right here. Now it's very simple. Right click, go down to transpose. Now we can literally just type in -2, for example, and this is going to transpose the entire track down by -2 semitones. Now the only thing is that you also have to make sure to do it for any audio clips that you have in the project, but it's still a lot faster than individually changing all of these patterns. Now, as you can hear, we changed the entire track down by 2 semitones. I'll transpose this up by 5. So it can be really fun to experiment with, especially if you want to find the right key for your track, because some tracks might sound better in a different key. Okay, so the next tip is very simple. All I did here for the track, oh my gosh, this project is messy. I apologize. I know I preach organization, but for this one, I had a bunch of ideas. All I did for this was apply a reverb with a ton of decay. I cut the lows a little bit, and then you're going to automate the wet knob. And with that, you can create these really cool reverb sweeps that fill up space in the track. You can kind of hear that it fills up this space right here. It makes it sound less stale. And in this example, I'm not even using it to fill up space. I'm just using it to create this really cool sweeping effect, as you can hear. It almost sounds reversed, and this can be really useful for sound design and adding a unique texture to any instrument. Okay, so as you can tell, this project is very synth heavy. One thing that saves me so much time is being able to directly copy the effects of a mixer channel over to another one. And here's how we do that. So that way you can apply it to your other synths or your vocals or whatever. We're going to right click, go to file, and then up at the top here we have save mixer track state. And what we can do with this is literally just left click and then drag it onto another mixer. It's that easy. I also heavily recommend saving your signature mixer tracks by going to the save mixer track again. You can literally name it whatever you want. So I'll just name it test. Then when you have a completely different project, you can right click, go to file, go to the folder you saved it in, or maybe you saved it in the main folder, and it's already loaded up, it's good to go. Okay, so here's a quick piano melody. And this is easily going to be my favorite tip out of the entire video. Have you ever heard of the blur tool? If you watched my last video, you probably have. It's very versatile and there's so much that you can do with it. First of all, I'm just going to consolidate this piano track. I'm going to select this and press Ctrl E. This will open Edison, and the blur tool is right here. We can click on it and this will open a small window with a few options. Let's say I want to turn this piano into more of an atmosphere. I'm going to turn the amount all the way up, press enter, and now if we play it, did you hear that? And then if we want to, we can directly drag this into the track. Sometimes you have to be careful because there can be a few dissonant notes that can get blurred together, but there's a ton of stuff that you can do with this. Okay, so the last tip I'm going to give you is very small, but I just randomly found it. Even though it's so small, I've found myself using it a little bit, and I haven't even seen anyone discover this yet. So if we open the channel rack and just hold Control and click on any of these channels, it just previews some of the notes. If you want to learn FL Studio in under 2 weeks and get every single resource you would need as a music producer, check the link in the description. Early access spots are literally almost running out. Alright, take action now and you'll thank yourself later. Peace.